So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, as Coutinho scores an absolute belter. Yeah, we're going to be having a look at some goals from PES 2019 over at E3. Got a variety to show you guys, as well as a couple of celebrations. We've got a penalty shootout that Barry himself, there he is, sitting right in the middle. He is actually a co-founder for PES Universe, and also known as the Midnight Kid, so obviously give him a follow. But we're going to have a look at some goals, and it's a chance to see the nets as well in all their glory. They do look really, really well done, I have to say. People wanted enhanced nets. Well, this year we certainly have that. This was a chance here, took a deflection, but just admire them. Admire the physics. There's a couple of niggles. I'm not going to get into them. You can see them. There's still a couple of little things I'd like sorted out, but I think for the most part, the gameplay looks solid. There's a good foundation here. Good amount of enhancements from last year. Of course, look, it's going to look similar to PES 2018. It's the same engine. But for the most part, it is a new game, a fresh lick of paint. And obviously, when we get a chance to play the demo, we'll be able to get our hands on it ourselves. And the Midnight Kid, he's been talking to us a lot about the game. And there's a lot of things he's tested out. The AI, the stamina, all that kind of works, he says. Here's an interesting one. It was a good goal, good header by Olivier Giroud, and then this celebration is rather interesting. I'm not quite sure what on earth's going on here, but is it a row the boat type of celebration? Are they driving here? I don't really know. Are they shooting a machine gun? It's quite funny. There are a couple of new celebrations that they've added this year. I certainly did not see that one in PES 2018, but nice header there by Olivier Giroud. Got up well, he's good in the air, and he done the business. Was fizzed in by Griezmann, back post, up he gets. Well, defender all over the place. I would like to see the defender actually jump there with him, but still, credit where it's due. This was a nice bit of interplay as we move on further. We will see a penalty shootout at the end of the video. This was Diego Maradona just having a strike there, fizzing it just wide. Disappointment that he couldn't find the target. I think France there were just playing around with it a little bit too much. Should have got rid of it, didn't. Nearly got punished, but luckily the ball just slipping past the post. And the referee brought the play back and whipped out a yellow card for the challenge as well on David Beckham, who obviously has his own edition this year. If you want to play as Beckham, if you want the 2018 version of David Beckham now, you're going to have to pre-order that Beckham edition, and you'll be able to do so. Here was Olivier Giroud, laid inside to find Griezmann. Tolisso back to Griezmann, nice bit of interplay. Would have liked to see the goalie come out there. He didn't. He stayed on his line, and that obviously, you don't narrow the angle down. It's much easier to slot it home, and there is them two having a little bit of a cheeky on-camera bit of action, but a nice dummy there, nice give and go, gave back to him. Now the keeper has to commit there, come out, close the angle down, but he didn't. If you saw there, right there, you can actually, I don't know if that's a new thing as well, move players on the sideline. Could you do that last year? Maybe you could. I know you can in FIFA, but they worked this well, and it was fed through and in off the post. I've seen a couple of in off the posts. I've seen a couple of keepers making the saves and parrying it into the net. A decent bit of variety, to be honest. And there's the lads going mental again. There's also another celebration where they got the phone out of the crowd and they took a selfie with it. So that was different. I know we still have Totti taking a selfie of himself, but now you get a chance to take a selfie with yourself and your teammates. So moving on a little bit further, it was Argentina here, just trying to work it forward. France trying to win it back. I mean, this is co-op. This is action-packed. Players running all over the place, because that's how it is. And right here, just smashes this in near post, but it's a good save. Keeper got the one-handed parry away. Di Maria, disappointed. And it is going to cut in and out. I mean, they were showing sort of the lads talking, and then they were showing some gameplay. This is better. The goalie came out there. I'm going to say they probably asked him to come out. That wasn't just done purely out of instinct. But it was a good save, and then it just sort of ricocheted all over the place. Players are everywhere. It's co-op. It's madness. But they have said this year that the AI will position themselves better. And I think that has been a bit of an issue. You get players standing still, running off the ball. In co-op, anything can happen, obviously, and this was the cheeky little dink that sometimes a little bit OP, but hey, if the goalie commits and it's one-on-one, I mean, Salah did it many, many times this year, and here it is, Aguero getting the selfie, getting the iPhone and taking a picture with Di Maria and Dybala, and it looks like the cameraman's trying to get in there as well. Sneaky little bastard. But there we have it. Worked it well. And if you defend like that, you are going to get punished. There was no way he was going to pass it, and he just flicked it with the outside of his boot into the back of the net. So a little bit more co-op action for you. This was towards the end of the match. This was just a complete scrap fest. A brilliant save there initially. Then it came back. The players were diving in left, right and centre. You can see Asim and I think it was Robbie getting excited in the corner. But that was it. There's Pogba's hair. Bit of spray paint in there and a 2-0 win for Argentina versus France. So we move on now to the PES Legends. Argentina are taking them on. This was another... Was this a co-op game? No, it's just a one-on-one, as you can see. And this is a good goal. Nicely worked. Defending was a little bit suspect here. They gave him far too much room, but on the chest, on the volley. And as you can see, it's a peach by Higuain as he's given Messi a bit of a headbutt right there and then. And nice to see the crowd. You know, I would like them to, zoom in on the crowd. Show a little bit of the atmosphere, the broadcast type feel. It's always nice to see. I'd still like to see them bring back earlier moments and replay those. If you hit the post in the 5th minute, come back and show it, They've copied elements from FIFA, and FIFA have copied elements from PES. It's that way now. I mean, what does it matter? Just make the best game possible. But look, have a look at the net physics here. Good chest, great volley, and the net looked bulging. So here's a free kick, a yellow card, still kind of the same animations there by Fazio picking up the yellow. Was this a foul? A kind of minimal clip there. I mean, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but there was a chance for Diego Maradona. I still wish Konami's graphics package, should we say, just would modernize up. I mean, the menus this year look very bland. They've gone from colours, with the greens and everything last year, and they've just gone straight bland. I don't know. Whip in a new graphics team. I just feel like, this is 2019 nearly. Let's get into modern, marketing and everything else. Anyway, that's a different story. Here was Argentina going forward again. There was a header, and it was a good save by Oliver Kahn. Now, questions of whether you'll be able to play as the PES Legends when the game's released is debatable. We don't know, as well as whether you can play them in the demo. But it was a chance for Maradona. Just decided to rip it. This was snowing. As you can see, the snow is around the sides of the field. It's not necessarily all on the field itself. I mean, look, stadiums nowadays, they are full of heating. They will obviously melt the ice. But the gameplay is going to be slightly different. It was a great run by Hullet, bombing it down the right flank, laid it back. It was a little bit of a mix-up. I don't know what was going on there. I mean, they're a little bit of a hindrance of AI. But look, this is an older build. They've already said that the dynamic time is not in this version. That's why we're seeing the same shadows throughout the whole game. It hasn't been implemented yet. They're still working on it. So, still things to be done. Still a couple of months left until the game is going to go gold. So, this is ultimately, I don't know how much percent you'd say. What, 70% maybe? But maybe even a little bit more. We don't know. Anyway, advancing on. One apiece in this matchup. And now they decide once again, this player loving to use the flanks. If you're going to use it, you might as well. Here's David Beckham, fizzes it in, comes back. It is Cruyff on the volley. And that's a peach. Right foot, top corner. And that's your traditional celebration there of telling the lads to come over. And there's a look at the quick substitutions. If you haven't seen them in action, you can sort of scroll through the different players that you want to ultimately switch as quick as possible. And the Midnight Kid has said that stamina does play a very, very big role this year towards the end of the match. But yeah, good volley. Cracking goal. Right, here we go again. David Beckham gets it up the line to find Cafu. Skims around, left, right and centre. It still has it. Maradona feeds it off. Hullet. Don't want to play around with it too much at the back because that's what's going to happen. The passing this year is difficult. You know, it's harder. It certainly is. It was a decent effort and a good save. But it's going to take a bit of time to adjust. I think a lot of people are also excited to see my club because they've got away apparently with the balls. So, interesting to see how that's going to play out. We're getting up to the penalty shootout in just a second. The final couple of goals here and chances. As Vieira lost it, Lionel Messi won it back. Di Maria's on the charge. Nice little back heel there. There's Beckham. Patrick Vieira, Hullet, Cruyff, Hullet again. That's lovely football, but the question is, can he finish it? Oh, not quite. As it rolled past the post. So here's the penalties. We've got France, we've got Argentina. This was, I believe, the Midnight Kid taking on Robbie. A little bit of mind games early on there. He's showing him where he was going to hit it, but he went the other way. I think the one thing that's improved here, and you know, it's still very much the same penalty system. The goalies look like the diving's a little bit more realistic than it has been. Sometimes they make unrealistic dives. It looks like Superman's flying along. Players taking the penalties look the same to me. It's very similar. There you go. You can see the two lads trying to hide their controllers. That's a good penalty. One apiece. Now, don't judge Barry from this penalty shootout. He was very nervous at the time. And I think, you know, that was a good save there by the goal. He did enough, although it was kind of near him. But we've played PES, and the penalties, they're not the easiest. Sometimes it's very difficult to know where that cursor is unless you have it shown. But that was a good penalty. Same animation, though, from the goalie there. So, you know, like to see him mix it up a little bit. And next up, Coman with a chance to score, but he couldn't either. Another great save. At this point, Barry can't believe himself. He's going, what is going on here? We are letting the lads down at PES Universe. But no, he had a cracking time, enjoyed himself, and he really is looking forward to the game. And Higuain with a cheeky little dink to make it 3-1. And that meant that he had to score this to at least keep himself in contention. And how about this for a penalty? Let me just say this one. High and mighty, way over the bar. And there we have it. So there's a look at some goals, some chances, a penalty shootout. We'll be back. I plan on doing a PES 2018 versus PES 2019 video just to show the difference for now. Until obviously we get to play it. But we'll be back shortly. Until next time, hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe because we have a lot of content to come. Until next time, take care.